everyone. So I wanted to come on here live just for fun and make a video about the new drop-in class that I'm offering on Wednesday evenings, 8 p.m. in the East Coast time zone. And this class is called Collective Well-Being. So this is a class that I decided to offer last Wednesday as a kind of a spontaneous thing. Came right on the heels of the US elections, and there was a lot of new feelings in the air, shall we say. And so I thought, what better than to offer a space for people to come together and to really feel into their bodies, and also to be together and to be in community. Now, I don't want to talk a lot about the US election, but I do want to say that this class is for everyone. It's not tied to a particular point of view about how the US election turned out. However, I do think that something that would be a common thread among people who'd be drawn to this class is a sense that right now it is more important, perhaps than ever before, for us to recognize the following thing. There is no such thing as individual well-being without collective well-being. So that's the name of the class, Collective Well-Being. The invitation in this class, which is going to include embodiment practice, primarily awareness through movement from the Feldenkrais method, although I may bring in other practices as well. And it's also going to involve community connection. It's going to involve an opportunity for people to talk about what's going on in daily life, what's difficult, what are they struggling with, what are the things that help them get through the day when things are challenging. And what we all need to recognize is that our nervous systems are absolutely tied together, right? So you feel great, and then someone comes into the room who's angry, or someone comes into the room who's depressed. You're going to feel that, right? On the other hand, if you're perhaps feeling not so great, and someone comes in the room who's incredibly grounded and open and willing to listen to you, they can actually create a space where your nervous system can more easily regulate. So before we even open our mouths, before we do anything, when we simply walk into a room, the way we inhabit our bodies, the way we inhabit space, the way we move, the way we hold ourselves has an impact on everyone around us. And of course, we are receiving the energy of everyone that we are with. It feels different if it's, if you're in the city or if you're in the country. I mean, these things are kind of obvious, but how often do we really move through our lives with the sense that our energies are transmitting to everyone around us at all times? So that is what this class is for. And we had that original class. I can put in the comments below this video a replay. We recorded the first class. It was a free offering. And one thing you can do is just check out that class to get an idea of what it's like, especially if you've never done an awareness through movement practice, but you'll also see some of the discussion that we had there. But what I'd like to talk about is just say a little bit more in detail of what I'm talking about in terms of community connection and what it means to cultivate collective well-being. So, first of all, if you want to have a positive influence on the people around you, of course it makes sense to, first of all, take care of yourself. So if you are dealing with a lot of discomfort, or you have, you know, monkey mind going on, well, you want to ground yourself first. You want to see, what can I do so that I'm regulated, so that I can really, you know, act from choice and not be driven by my emotions. Hopefully, I can be comfortable in my body. But once we've found that, this isn't enough if we're just doing it like, you know, that feeling of driving in traffic and you're inside your car and you look over there and everyone's in their own little world inside each of their cars. Yeah, but what if there's suddenly, you know, some big disaster up ahead in the road, and suddenly people come out of their cars and they realize, oh my god, we're all in this together, right? But we don't spend a lot of time these days acting as if we're all in it together. We do our little thing in our corner of, you know, the social media landscape, where we have our little group of friends. But what would it mean to begin to really pay more attention to the world out beyond us? And I don't just mean, are you reading the news, but what about paying attention to those things that are hard to look at, right? This is one of the first ways that you can really see what we could call care, love, right? If you have a family member, for example, who the way they're showing up today is, let's just say, it's very unpleasant for you. But if you decide to stay in this person's company, if you decide to hold space and listen, if you decide to, you know, hold back your judgments, try to see it from their point of view, if that's difficult to do but you do it anyway, it's care. It's care that gives you the motivation to continue paying attention, right? And another thing that's really important to understand, and this will connect into why this offering can be so powerful, because of the way that the Feldenkrais method works and awareness through movement works, and I'll say more about that. But if it relates to learning as well. So if you were with a small child and they were trying to learn to tie their shoes, right? Well, you're an adult, you can tie your shoe. It looks like a simple thing to you, but you understand that the child needs time. So you wouldn't be helping this child to learn to tie their shoe if you kept telling them, hurry up, you know, it's time to leave. Why can't you tie your shoe? Fine, I'll do it for you. And, you know, that would be the opposite of encouraging their learning. It would probably slow them down. Instead, you might say, oh, take your time, you know, it doesn't matter if we're a little bit late to the birthday party. Or I remember when I was learning to tie my shoe. Oh, that's, you know, whatever. You would engage them, you would encourage them, right? And this is what we need to learn to do with ourselves, and it's what we need to learn to turn outwards and do for others. So this world is full right now of people who think they know right and wrong, and they know better than someone else. Well, it's quite possible that there are things in life that you understand better than others because you've experienced more of a particular thing than someone else. But when you're with that other person, if all you can display is your impatience because they don't somehow automatically know what you do because they don't have the same experience, well, of course, you're going to cut off connection. And in terms of helping that person to learn what you know and come to a place where you can have that common language, you're also cutting that off. So even beyond the capacity to pay attention to what's difficult, if you're with someone who really does disagree with you, and we're very aware of disagreements in the landscape right now after the elections, even if you hold on to your view, are you capable of being open? Are you capable of hearing a point of view that might sound dissonant to your ears, but remain present? Keep your breath flowing, right? You don't put a scowl on your face to just transmit to the person that, there's something wrong with them for thinking what they think based on their own point of view. Again, you don't have to go to their point of view, but can you be civil? Even if internally you feel dissonance to what's being said. It's a fairly simple idea, but it's something that many of us have really lost at this point in time. And so, in fact, my hope is that community connection and that we offer in this class will be an invitation for people of different backgrounds to come in and join into the experience. So let me now turn a little bit more to the offering of awareness through movement. And this is, if you're not familiar with the Feldenkrais method, awareness through movement is a way of exploring movement, but not in order to move correctly, but it is an opportunity to really sink into the sensations of your body, to feel more, to notice things about the way your body moves, the way your body feels that maybe you normally don't notice, to slow down, to move in such a way that you're not trying to force your body to do things it isn't ready to do, and even to notice in a class, I'll be leading the class and I'll be giving, indications of which movement to do. But I'll often say during the class, you should be listening to your own body more than you listen to me, right? And this is a way of cultivating autonomy. But it's also an act of kindness towards your own nervous system. If you're always forcing your body to do more than it can, and let's face it, so many of us are doing that now with the overpacked schedules and just on and on. Modern life is rather overwhelming. But if you can carve out some time to really deeply listen below the surface of all the words and the mental narratives and get down into sensation and start to feel how this part and that part, how your neck is connected to your hips, how your breathing is intimately related to your capacity to be upright in a balanced and comfortable way. When you start to make these kinds of connections, your body will naturally gravitate towards more ease and comfort. And this is really wonderful for your body. You'll feel a lot better by the end of the class. If you watch the first class, you'll see people talking at the end about how much easier their breath felt, their eyes felt softer, how they were able to let go of stresses that they were bringing into the class. But more than that, this is a really deep metaphor. Metaphor isn't even quite right. It's the learning process that you practice in this wordless realm, this experience of just feeling what the body needs right now, which actually results in incredible leaps of learning. This is how you learned to use your body in the first place. There was no, set of procedures that you followed to learn how to walk, to learn how to talk. The most incredible things that we do, we don't know how we did them. But without being able to spell out exactly, part of what we did is we were playful. We paid attention to the experience. We rested when we needed to. You won't see babies forcing themselves to do things that are beyond their capacities, right? They stop, and then they rest, and then they try again. And they're always filled with wonder, right? So we can cultivate that in the practice of awareness through movement, and then we can look for how to bring that into the rest of our life. So I just wanted to make this video to kind of give you a sense that this is not just any old movement class. It is certainly a class where you can come and take care of your body, but I want this class to be really connected to the world that we live in today. And what's it going to take for us to inhabit this world with a little more harmony than what we have right now? And especially if you yourself are a teacher or if you are a parent, if there are other people in your life who depend on you for their well-being, this class will be a resource for helping you do that. So the class will take place on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm aware that there are people, in different parts of the world who I'm connected to, and that's not necessarily the best time for everyone. It's the time that I'm able to offer this class here in the beginning. But please know that if you register for the class, you will receive video replays. And if I find out that there are a number of people who can't make this class time but would be interested, I may offer another class time. But for the time being, I'm going to be teaching every Wednesday night through the end of the year, and we'll see how that goes. And there is a suggested donation for the class. It's $20, but if you want to come to class and that's too much for you, you can make another donation. You'll see that when you go to the registration. And my hope is that we can bring in enough people that everyone can participate and make this class sustainable and worthwhile for all of you. So I just wanted to, again, share these thoughts a little bit off the cuff. I hope you enjoyed listening and you have a better sense of what we're up to. Happy to answer any other questions you might have about this class in particular, or if you are new to the Feldenkrais method and you'd like me to say more about that, I can do that as well. But I hope to see you this Wednesday evening. Be doing a really nice class to create more flexibility in the chest, where of course we hold all of those fiery emotions, but we can build the capacity to hold and to stay grounded and to be together. And we'll do something new each week and develop these themes as we go. So hope to see you there. Thanks for listening.